Welcome back to Character Select. Tyler, Malhavoc. We're playing Sorcery once again. And we have a person or a creature
a thingy
who has put a knife to her neck.
and
We're going
it's
to answer
like,
them.
Yep.
Your line.
I see nothing.
You call back.
You're quite safe.
It is not I who is not safe, returns the voice.
Ask who is there. Who's there?
There is no reply, but the tall, dark figure of an assassin emerges from the trees. He is dressed head to toe in black, and you had not seen him a moment before. Even though he had been standing a mere arm's length away, he wields a sharp scimitar in expert hands.
Cast a spell. An assassin. Interesting.
Yep. Alright, we got nothing. We can do walk, which makes a shield. We can zap. Or we can do, no, not that. Come on. This one. Fix. Using the glue to gum him in place. No, that's Staff of Oak Sapling. I'm thinking of gum. Sorry.
Yeah, gum or glue.
Yep.
Are those the only ones?
Yep.
What was it? Walk did the shield?
Costs a gold piece to make a shield.
Let us do walk.
You cast a spell and it drains the energy from you, but nothing happens.
What?
Strange.
Bullshit.
You bring your sword up to bear. That's strange you couldn't use your magic, huh?
I'm betting it's Jan.
Why do you think it would be Jan?
Because I was able to use spells just fine before that.
Nice.
So the question is...
I think I'm gonna defend here. Yeah, I should have hit him. Damn it. Alright, there we go. Leaping into action, you cleave your blade mercilessly across his back. He is off balance and moving slowly, and the blade goes deep. He turns and tumbles, releasing his sword as he topples. I am not so proud as to not admit when I am beaten, he groans. You may finish me if you so choose, but if you do me an honor and use my own blade. The assassin is not dead, but lies on the floor, gasping. Do you spare him or finish him?
I would like to interrogate him, but that's not an option there.
Well, you might be able to do that if you spare him.
Let us spare him then for now.
Alright. Then get up, you tell him, holding your sword back, but not putting it away yet. He nods and sheathes his own blade. You are an honorable man, and I am glad to meet you. Now you have saved me. You own me, in part. My name is Flanker, and I am an assassin and a thief.
Why did you attack me?
It is a simple matter. I pick on wayfarers for practice in hiding and in killing. I assumed you would be no match, especially when I saw your pet. He points briefly at the Minimite, who's currently hiding under a fold in your tunic. But I see I was wrong. He bows his head once, perhaps in respect, perhaps from the pain of his injuries. You are traveling to Kare, he asks.
Why do you ask?
That is the way I am going. Well, perhaps I will not see you again once we part now, but if I do, remember me. I will not forget the debt I owe you.
I will remember you there.
He bows his head again. This time it is definitely from pain. Go, he hisses. You cannot aid me.
Help him. No.
You reply.
I have caused your wounds. I will help you.
He grins with gritted teeth. You a doctor? I do not think you are.
Bind his wounds.
Tearing strips of dark fabric from his clothing, you bind his wounds tightly and the bleeding lessens. You are too kind to a man who is about to kill you, he murmurs.
Let that be your lesson.
You reply as you gather up your things and head out of the forest, leaving him behind. You have a sense that you have made a powerful friend. You're going to leave the trees. How much longer do you think we'll be traveling today? The Minamite on your shoulder asks. I'm hungry and tired, and we've gone such a long way.
Not much further.
The Minamite sighs and slumps on your shoulder. You continue along the path and around the side of a hill. A wooden hut is set into the slope with an old woman sitting on the front step. A river seems to emerge from beneath her, and as you get closer, you realize the water flows underneath her house, and the house itself is set on splayed struts like an insect straddling the watercourse. A few paces from the front of the house, the water plunges over the edge of a sheer cliff and disappears.
Greet the woman. Greetings.
You call, and the woman looks up at you and smiles. Come over here, won't you? She calls. I can barely see you. Do you walk past the house or approach the woman?
I guess we'll approach.
Okay. You approach the old woman. She smiles a toothless smile and gets up from the step. Come in, please, she beckons. I get so lonely living out here on my own, away from the villagers.
I'm getting Hansel and Gretel vibes right now.
Well, our house isn't made of gingerbread at the very least.
Yeah, there is that. I guess we'll investigate, so go inside.
Go inside.
She looks like the witch from Hansel and Gretel.
Well, you follow her inside and take a seat by a long wooden table. I'll bring us some tea, she says. She sounds almost nervous. Hurrying to her kitchen, she returns with 2 large cups. Watch it, Jan whispers in your ear. I don't trust this one. Do you drink the tea or make conversation?
Let us make conversation.
Okay. The tea is still hot. You cup it between your hands as you speak.
What is your name?
Oops.
Nope. Why do you live alone?
Well, we can ask that after that.
It must be more dangerous.
No, she smiles sweetly. No one bothers about me. Why would they? You can't help but notice she has not answered the question.
What is your name?
They call me Gazamoon, she replies with a smile. I used to be quite well known in my way. You nod, but you've never heard of her.
This is a beautiful place.
You remark, watching the river outside the door plunging away over the cliff face. This is the top of the crystal waterfall, she says. The river runs right under my house. They say it carries all my goodness and youth away while I sleep, and the villagers bathe in it for luck. She giggles meanly. I'm sure it isn't quite true. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lips. Oh, she says suddenly, I've forgotten the pot. She goes back to the kitchen to fetch it. Do you drink your tea, switch cups with her, or make a run for it?
Switch cups with her.
Want to switch cups with her?
Yeah.
All right. While she is away from the table, you switch the 2 cups around.
Damnation.
Then, when she returns, you lift the closest one to you and drink. A sudden, deep pain grips your stomach, and you double over. See,
damn if I had drank,
why would she? Well, why would she have stopped you from drinking?
I getcha.
She wanted you to switch it. She wanted you to not trust her. You wince and cough as you find yourself seizing up. Oh, suspicious stranger, laughs the woman. I can count on travelers suspecting my witchcraft.
I'm not sure what we should do at this point.
You're at her mercy. You're paralyzed.
I guess we'll ask for release then.
Okay. You try to shout out, but you are paralyzed and quite powerless. The old woman begins to search through your bag. Jan flits about in some distress, unsure what to do. Then, with a coo of delight, she pulls out the spellbook page you were given by the old man in tree. My book, she cries. The missing page! Why didn't you tell me you had my missing spell? She scurries off into the kitchen and returns with a cup of liquid, which she pours into your half-open mouth while clucking and stroking your head. Like, there, it'll be all right. It is an antidote, and you feel your body slowly unfreeze. Finally, she slaps you to bring you around.
What in the world? Who was the old man?
A rogue and a bandit, she replies, spitting. 4 days ago, I was visited by a traveler such as yourself, but when I was away making my tea, as I always do, he started leafing through my book and tore out a page. He must have been a wizard of power, because he vanished almost too fast for me to curse him.
What curse did you cast?
Well, you saw him, she replies. I aged him. Didn't stop him escaping, though. She fusses with the page, repairing her spellbook with some gentle magic. Shall I show you how useful the spell is? She says.
One that's aging? Is that the one she's referring to?
No, she's referring to the one that you just gave her.
Yeah, please.
My pleasure. Jan begins to squeal and screech and make some awful noises about what wonderful friends you are, but it doesn't stop the old lady from casting her spell. The Minimite vanishes. You feel a flow of magic back through your body, and you hadn't realized it was gone, but with the Minimite around, your spells have been weakened, and you are strong once more.
Thank you. I kind of suspected that.
The old woman nods her head, and you leave her hut.
Well, that turned out better than I was hoping.
Oh, but Jan was a good dude, wasn't he?
Except he was buggering all my spells. Kind of made.
Yeah, you had a sword.
Yeah, I had a sword, but I'm more of a thinker and caster than a hit stuff with sharp, pointy thing.
Exactly.
I mean, it's much...
It's now... yeah, I gotcha. But it's your adventure, it's your choice, so... It is now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill, and below you is the village of Torapani, slung from one side of the valley to the next, like a flood barrier.
Observe it.
Torapani is a village of the Sven, an aggressive-looking race of man-orcs.
Oh, God.
You might expect their village to be rowdy, but it seems strangely quiet.
Man-orcs, interesting.
Still, there is no way around it. You will have to go through into Torapani. And we're almost at our goal of the city port of traps of Kare. Last leg of our journey. You enter the village, and there is a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Svens are going about their business slowly and miserably, and pay you no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump in the very center of the village to consider your options.
Make contact with the villagers first.
You spy a group of Svens sitting outside a low hut. And you walk over and sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend, apparently killed in the night by an assassin's curved blade.
Is that why you are all afraid?
You ask. We afraid of nothing, retorts one of the Sven furiously. But no, much worse. Another Sven bangs his hand down on the table. But with Esh dead, who saved Tia?
Who is Tia?
Our flower. The Sven who answers wipes a tear from the corner of his eye, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail. Tia is Chief's daughter, the other Sven says. Ish was to save her. Now Ish not alive, so Tia soon not alive.
What happened to her?
Goblins, they sacrifice. Sacrifice? He is unsure of the word, so mimes a gesture like a stabbing downwards knife blade. Yes, sacrifice to great cave demon. Trouble is, another says, our village die if chief line end. Tia is end, so if end ends, we end. All very sad. Very sad, they all agree. Who you? One asks suddenly, as if only just thinking of it. He prods you in the chest.
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer! A sudden gleam enters the biggest one's eye. Great sorcerer?
I do my best.
Best is good. Meke, Tifa! He signals to the others, who are quickly on their feet, big hefty arms swinging for you. We take to chief! Before you can resist, they have you and are hauling you bodily onto their shoulders.
I'm wondering what praying to the spirit would do.
I don't know. They don't seem to be, aiming to hurt you,
They're
right?
not aiming to hurt me. It seems more like out of a scene out of a cartoon where you're picked up bodily and hauled off somewhere. We'll wait to
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
They grab you and they're hauling you off.
We'll wait to see what happens.
All right. You hold your tongue and wait to see where they're taking you. You pass through the village. Several Sphins watch from doorways and windows, their faces silent and somber. A few murmur blessings, or maybe curses, as you pass. Then you reach a low hut on the edge of the village. You are set down carefully. Captured by the Sphin. The door is slammed and locked. A moment later, it reopens and your possessions are thrown inside. Do you wait to see what happens, try to sleep, or eat something?
Guess we could try to sleep to regain some stamina.
Okay.
What?
A few more minutes pass with no more movement. Figuring they will probably now wait until daylight, you put your head down to sleep. The aching in your empty belly gnaws at you with glee.
Fuck.
Your dreams are filled with grasping hands and long dark nails scratching at your flesh, and however much you toss and turn on the floor, you cannot quite get them out of your mind.
That's annoying.
Daybreak. You are still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside, and then the door to the hut opens and 5 Sphins come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut, where an old man with gray hair sits. He's wearing outlandish, colorful robes. My name Proceus, Chief. He slaps his chest twice. I apologize. Then he bows, brushing the dust on the floor with his sleeves.
Tell me what you want.
He holds up a hand. First, he waves for a menial who brings in bread and milk.
Eat it.
Gratefully, you bolt down the meal. It does not seem to be poison, and it nourishes you. The bowl is removed, and the chief squats down in a pool of cloth. I have need of you, and your strength.
I will help if I can.
The chief bows. I am grateful. My daughter, my child, she is taken, offered to a terrible demon below.
Goblins.
The chief spits at the word. Goblins. He shakes his head as tears well up in his eyes. We never friends, but we never enemies like this. I not understand their hate. Why they care about demons and caves.
I will save her.
You take the adventure. The chief wipes away a tear with a clawed finger. He gestures to the other Sphins who, still taking no chances, grab you by your arms and haul you to your feet. You into a crack in the ground. You are led along a short pathway through the forest to a crack in the ground. One Sphin has brought a rope, and another a basket. They are preparing to lower you down into the pit of earth itself.
I guess.
Do you try and escape? Say you will pay me richly for this, or take the adventure?
I guess we will take the adventure.
Excellent. You wait until they are ready, then step into the basket. The chief nods to you with respect. Watch the darkness, he declares as they start to lower you down. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes can make out nothing, but a slight breeze suggests endless space in all directions. You are blind, helpless, trapped. Something clatters to your feet from above. One of the Sphins shouts something down to you.
Feel around on the ground and hope it's a damn torch.
You crouch down and feel around your feet until your hand closes on the base of something. You pick it up. It is a dry wood torch. Something else falls from above and strikes you on the head. Tinderbox! Calls the voice.
This is fucking Acme shit. Feel around for the tinderbox.
Rubbing the bruise on your head, you reach down and find the tinderbox.
Light the torch.
You strike a light, and the torch blazes into flame.
Below.
You can see now you're in a large cavern, wide and deep. At the far end, passageways disappear to the left and right. Through an uneven rockfall at the far end of the cavern, you hear a murmur. Do you go left or right?
Or listen by the rocks.
Yes.
Let's listen by the rocks.
You clamber over the rocks at the edge of the cavern to investigate the sound. It is a whimpering coming from the other side of this pile of stones. The Sphin girl, perhaps? She came in this way, but then the cave-in blocked off her path. You will have to find another way to reach her. Do you go left or right?
Let's go right.
You turn right, creeping slowly forward. The passage rises up a gentle incline, and at the top a thick crystal seam glitters in the torchlight. The tunnel ends in a T-junction.
Look at the crystal.
The seam seems to be made of pure diamond. There's no doubt in quest of this that these tunnels were carved, but why is no one mining here now?
I guess dig out the crystal?
You try to prise some diamonds loose from the incredible seam in the rock, but your sword is not up to the task. You would only make it blunt. You could perhaps return with a proper pick, but only if you can escape these tunnels first.
Alright,
so you go left, right, or turn back.
So we're at another T-junction.
Yes.
I'm trying to map this out in my head. Let's just go left. Jesus.
Here the cave system widens. Pendulous stalactites hang from the ceiling, as if about to fall and skewer you into place. You skirt between them, following a thin, safe path until a side passage opens on the right.
I guess go right?
You take the right-hand tunnel, and after a few minutes' walk up a shallow incline, you begin to hear something in the distance, a low rumbling.
Oh gosh. How many resets do I still have?
3 total.
Okay, I guess we'll wait and see for a moment.
You wait to see what happens, and the rumbling gets loud, and your hair stands on end as you see a large, rounded boulder rolling swiftly down the passage towards you. The rock is almost a perfect fit for the tunnel, and its speed is increasing as you dither.
Use magic.
You ready a spell.
Do we have access to the one I'm hoping for?
We have wall. We have gum. We have fall, and we have fix.
Wall is the one that just creates straight up
wall.
Yeah. 3 stamina. Yeah, we'll do wall.
Alright, wall it is. You cast your spell just in time, and the great boulder hits your invisible wall with considerable force, causing the whole cave to shake and shudder. The boulder holds in place like a pawing horse, but your spell will not last long, so you better move on.
Turn left. Or go back. Left.
You take the left passage. The ground begins to slope upwards, and the walls begin to glitter as you encounter a seam of crystal. Have you been this way before?
Yeah.
Here, a passageway appears on your right.
Go straight on.
You push on. You walk down the passage for several minutes and then slip on some dirt, and the ground beneath your feet gives way. You plunge into a hidden pit and land on something soft.
Oh shit. Did I land on something soft and moving is the question. Look around.
Not counting your luck, you look around, and sure enough, you're out of the frying pan and into the reptile den. You're in a pit of snakes!
Not the snakes! Use magic.
You check the stars to see what spells are available to you.
It had to be snakes.
Alright, we have Pop.
Ooh, that might be good.
Law. Zen. Which doesn't help us.
That would have been handy, though.
And nothing.
Let's do pop.
Pop. You pull one of the pebbles from your sack, cast an enchantment across it, and toss it at the nearest pool of snakes, killing several and frightening the others, which cower back to the other side of the pit. You have bought yourself a few minutes, but you're still stuck at the bottom of a pit.
Try something else?
Alright. The effect of your magic is beginning to wear off. The creatures are moving towards you again.
Climb out.
You have a few moments remaining, so you begin to climb. It's tough going, and you get halfway up when the creatures begin to approach, ready to attack. The walls are tough and unforgiving on your hands, but you make it to the top of the pit. You are soon back by the crystal seam, where a crack splits the wall on the left.
Go left.
You slip through the opening in the left wall. Then you see a spot of sunlight up ahead and rush forward to find yourself back beneath the crack in the ceiling through which you came.
Alright, so that's where we were originally lowered down.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess go straight on?
Creep forward through further on into darkness. The passageway slopes down a short way then splits. 2 stones are stacked on top of one another against the wall here.
And those are, examine the stones, those are the ones where we listened by.
There is nothing special about the 2 stones, except they happen to be on top of one another.
We went right last time, let's go left this time.
You go left. The tunnel twists and bends sharply, as if carved by a river now long since dried away. You lose all sense of which way is which, except to keep going forward where the passage you are following finishes at another fork. There is a stacked pair of stones here as well.
There's no turn back either. Go right?
You move through the opening in the right wall. The cave floor here is an inch deep in water, dripping from an arched ceiling far above. The droplets that land on you are ice cold and run like sharpened claws down your back. A few strides further on, the path you are creeping through forks again. A single stone sits by the wall.
Go right.
You go right. The rock in the wall of passage turns from natural stone to something carved and shaped by ancient hands. There is the occasional mark of lettering, now half rubbed away by time, spelling some message of doom. Then the passage ends, quite abruptly, in a sealed door.
Alright, I guess we will open it.
You push the door open slowly. Then a catch clicks, and some ominous rumblings start. Behind you, a wall is rising from the stone floor to seal off your escape.
Go into the room.
You push forward into the room undeterred, only to be met with an appalling sight. There are hundreds of gallons of water rushing towards you. You are swept off the ground as the room and corridor fill. You are sure to drown.
I guess pray to my spirit.
You utter a rapid prayer to the ape, your spirit, as the water level rises. For a desperate moment you think your guide has deserted you, but then a bubble of air forms around your head like a protective helmet. You thrash in the water, but are still able to breathe.
Swim forward.
You begin to swim, though in the turbulent water it's impossible to tell which way is forward and which way is back. But in the end, it does not matter. The trap is designed to reset, and the water quickly begins to drain away to some underground reservoir. You are gently lowered back to the floor, and the ceiling wall disappears. Shaking yourself dry and thanking your spirit once again, you turn and head back to the last junction. You return to the flooded chamber where a crawl space gapes on your left.
Go left.
You take the left passage. The path twists and bends and jackknifes, and then a side passage breathes a gentle wind on the left. Another pair of stones are stacked in one corner.
Go left.
You squeeze into the gap in the left wall. This ground seems to dip, and its lowest point a passageway yawns on your right. 2 more stones are stacked against the wall.
Go right.
You turn right. Soon you're back in the spot of sunlight below the opening in the ceiling.
What the hell?
Would you like a hint?
Yes.
Perhaps. Remember the rhyme.
Oh, fucking hell. Which rhyme? The one that I had a picture of?
Yes.
See him though he sees you not, a stinging beast in a box not left, to guard a key, it is his lot, to goal witch of luck bereft.
Gale.
Gale.
Which is jail.
Alright, to jail a witch of luck bereft. Stinging beast in a box not left. That's the rhyme that I'm supposed to use.
Yep.
What the fuck? I'm trying to see if it has directions in here.
Well, what direction? There's only one direction in there.
Yeah, which is left.
No.
See him though he sees you not, a stinging beast in a box not left. So it's not left.
Yeah.
To guard a key, which is... So, alright, so I guess go straight on.
Alright. We are back at that crystal.
Go right.
You're back at the crystal. You're back at the snake pit.
Go right. Or
you can't.
Go straight on. Go right. What? Go straight on. Go right. Go straight on. Go right. Go right. Go straight on. Go straight on. Oh, wait. The cave walls crush in close. Okay, go right.
It just means the path is getting narrower.
Hissing snakes. Again, the snakes. Go straight on.
You're going in... Oh, here we go. You edge on. You follow the passageway when you hear an echo of whimpering coming up the corridor. Your torchlight falls across a frail shape. Hiding in the shadows is the young Sven girl, stacking stones into hundreds of little towers.
Look for traps.
I am going to do one thing for me. Boop.
Aha.
Because I know what's coming, and we're trying to wrap this up.
Yep.
Because this is a long episode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But whatever. What'd you say? Look for traps? You run the torchlight around the walls of the cavern. No switches or triggers that you can see. The girl watches you with silent fear, and then the torchlight falls on a deep scratch in the rock. A claw mark. Suddenly, there is a loud roaring from the mouth of this short cavern. The walls begin to shake and crumble, and the Sven's stone towers topple and scatter. To one side, a gap in the rubble begins to open, letting through a mean shaft of light. But before you can head for it, the roaring sound is joined by a scream from the Sven girl. You turn slowly and peer into the gloom back along the tunnel. Is there something moving? Something coming closer? Perhaps the roaring is the wind rushing through the tunnels.
Sure it is. Something is coming.
You hear the scrabbling sound of claws on rock.
Oh, fuck.
And the exit from the tunnel is blocked by a dark and looming shape. A manticore, huge and terrible, that stands between you and the light and howls in bloody rage.
I guess
use magic, fight the creature, or look at it.
What magic do we have available is the question.
You clear your mind for a spell. We got Pep, which we cannot use. We have Doze, which makes it slow. We have Open Doors and Locks. We have Dumb, which causes clumsiness. We have Hot. Well, I thought we had Hot. We have Huff, create wind, but we need a Gale Horn. And that is it.
So we have Foff?
Yes, we have Foff and Fog. But remember, we have 9 stamina.
Yeah. Let's see here. Dumb's the clumsiness.
Doze makes it slow. Either one of those will make it easier to fight, but it won't directly damage him.
Let us... I'm trying to think of which one would be better for us. Either slowness or clumsiness. Shit, we only have 9 stamina too, that's the problem. Yeah, I guess we'll go with clumsiness.
Alright, Dumb it is. You complete your enchantment, and the manticore seems to stagger and trip, one foot colliding with the other, and its sting becoming tangled in its wings. You've slowed it down. If you draw your sword now, you will have an advantage, or you have gained yourself more time for further sorcery.
That's the question. We don't have much stamina, so I guess it's best to draw the sword.
Well, let's just see what we can do.
Are there more spells?
There are different ones now.
Oh, wow, okay.
We can do Yob, which we don't have giant teeth to summon a giant. We don't have Yap. We need a green-haired wig. We don't have goblin teeth. We can do...
Nope.
Don't have sand. Or we can do hot. And blow it up with a fireball.
Let's try hot then.
Alright. We have 3 stamina remaining. You cast the spell, creating a huge fireball that you fling at the beast. It makes the damp rock wall sizzle as it flies. Before striking the creature in the side, it roars in pain. The manticore roars, making the walls of the chamber shake, but listening closely, you can hear a note of fear in its too human voice. It is still a beast of ferocious strength, but you have weakened it. You will have to make this next and final spell matter, or take it to task with your sword.
I guess we can try magic one last time.
Remember, if you go to 0, I'm pretty sure it kills you.
Yeah, pretty sure that's death.
So we have Pop,
Ooh.
Zap, Zap,
That's 3 stamina. We don't want to do
which
that.
we can cast it, but I will guarantee you
It'll
that
kill
will
us.
kill you.
Yeah, it'll kill us. We don't.
6, which will make clones of us. Sap, which makes the manticore depressed. Or Law.
Nope, that'll kill us.
Which will kill us. So Sap
Or Pop.
or Pop.
Those are the ones we're looking at, because
Sap, Pop, or 6.
all of them could be useful. I know it's got a hint of fear right now, so the depression could work, but let's go ahead and hit it with a Pop as well.
Alright, Pop it is. You cast the spell quickly over one of your pebbles and lob it at the creature. It strikes it in the side in a vicious explosion of fur and blood.
We can throw multiples?
You have multiple
Throw it again.
pebbles. Seizing your advantage, you enchant a second pebble and hurl it at the creature. It hits the creature in the neck in a fireball of blood and feathers.
We got the pebbles, keep going.
You launch a third pebble. It strikes the manticore full in the face, its mane catching alight. Crackles of energy streak along its back to the tail, which turns black and explodes in a fountain of mucus and shell. The Sven girl shields her head, and so do you, but nothing can protect your ears from the dying screams of the cave demon. It is shouting loud enough to bring the walls down, cursing in a guttural human tongue.
Finish it.
Do you finish it or run for it? Finish it, of course you finish it. You step forward and plunge your sword into its heart. The only noise in the chamber is the hammering of your heart and the quiet breathing of the Sven girl. "Thank you," the Sven girl murmurs, then tugging at your arm. "This way." She leads you towards the light, through a gap in the rocks, to the pool of sunlight in the first cavern.
Escape.
You wave the torch, hoping to attract attention.
Tell the girl to call up. Girl, call to your father.
The Sven child nods mutely, then bawls at the top of her lungs, "Proteus, I'm here!" Then something drops down, a rope with a basket on the end. "Get in together," the chief calls from above. "We will pull you both up."
Then I guess we'll get in together.
Alright. You step into the basket and help the girl to clamber in with you.
Get out and let the girl go first.
The Sven above begins the haul. The rope stretches and grows taut, but the basket doesn't move. The rope starts to make a squealing noise, and the basket lifts a finger width off the floor. You're gonna get out or lift her out.
I'm going to get out and let the girl go first.
You step out of the basket and call up.
Haul away!
The Svens give a great cry and begin to pull again. This time the basket starts to slowly rise, spinning as it goes. The girl waves to you as she disappears up in the sunlight, and then she is gone.
Wait.
A minute passes, nothing.
Call up.
Throw down the rope! Nothing. The tunnel echoes, very slightly. A noise from the depths. Perhaps the manticore was not alone.
Fuck me. Wait a little longer.
You wait a little longer, settling down on your pack. You can imagine the celebration going on above ground, the tears and grateful reunion. No surprise if they lose track of you down here in the dark. And then, sure enough, the basket and rope tumble down. You clamber quickly in, and they haul you up. Above ground, the chief himself helps you out onto the grass. His daughter is with him, clutching his hand. My daughter tells you fight bravely, he says. For that, I'm grateful. I invite you, with us, back to Torepani. Will you come?
Yup. Back to Torepani.
You can carry on the Kare or go back to Torepani.
Let's go to Torepani.
Yep.
See if we can't recover some stamina.
You do indeed recover all your stamina.
Woo!
A little generosity cannot hurt you. You nod.
I will come.
As you enter the village, it erupts into celebration. Look, it's the Sven. They're lovely people.
I know.
They're so attractive.
You're given a place to stay and recuperate from your long journey. A visit to the healing priest treats your wounds, and when you emerge, it is to find the village. For so somber and silent, now in full life, flowers are tied to every rooftop, and bands of Svens are playing music on long, strangely shaped lyres. You're whisked away into the dance by Proceus's daughter, before the chief can welcome you to the feast. The night is glorious. That night, you sleep heavily and rise the next morning to continue your journey. The chief meets you before you go. My good friend, he declares, you have saved us. He presses 2 gifts into your hand. A pouch of 10 gold pieces,
Nice.
a fortune for a place like this, and a key. This opened the South City Gate of Kare, he tells you. I hope it is use.
Time
to go. You take your leave. The path winds away from Torepani, and soon you are on a downward slope away from the Shamutanti Hills through stepped rice fields. As you walk, you feel for the first time the loneliness of the path ahead. Though Kare is a busy city, it is cruel, and beyond Kare there is nothing but the vicious wasteland. You will have no one to trust in the days ahead. Walk on.
Except for maybe Assassin Boy.
Maybe. For a brief moment, up on the hills above the path, you fancy you see a figure stealing its way along by some high and secret route. A figure, all in black. When you shade your eyes against the sun, whatever was there has disappeared. In the distance rises the wall of a great city, the first true stonework you have seen since you left home.
Takare.
To Kare!
To Camelot. 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 It's just a model.
Your journey through the Shemutanti Hills is completed. Along the way, you have gained the friendship of Flanker the Assassin and have been given the key to the gates of Kare. You have collected some magical artifacts, a large lump of beeswax, a cloth skullcap, a vial of glue, nose plugs, and 4 pebbles. You're armed with a long sword, your original sword, and have 2 rations and 13 gold pieces, and a spellbook.
Continue. Join us next time on Character Select Z.
Sorcery 2. Character Select Z. Sorcery 2. Kare, City Port of Traps. Out now.
Wow, they even say it's out now.
And there's our cloud save name. Jim, can you just blur that out, please, just in case people use that and screw up our save? Jim, thank you.
Oh, it's
Jim.
a cloud.
Yep, cloud save. So anybody can use this word and use this save.
Now, does that mean that we can come back to it? Like, is it redo the thing, or is that to continue next time?
That's to continue on to the next one.
So we use that when we start playing Sorcery 2.
So, thank you all very much for watching. Click that like button down below if you want to. Subscribe, ding that bell, and let us know if you want us to continue this adventure. Mal, what do you got to say?
It was a lot of fun, so I know that you said that the next one is like super long.
It's interesting, I will say that.